we need to write these mixed numbers as decimals. So first we have 1 and 5/10. That's 1.5 because the digit before the decimal point is the ones digit and we have 1 whole in our mixed number, and the digit after the decimal point is the tenths digit and we have 5/10. Now 1 and 5/100 is 1.05. That's because the second digit after the decimal point is always the hundredths digit, so we need 0 in our tenths to make it clear that this 5 is in our hundredths place value column, so stands for 5/100. And now 1 and 5/1000 is 1.005. That's because the third digit after the decimal point is always the thousandths digit, so we need zeros in our hundredths and tenths to make it clear that this 5 is in our thousandths place value columns. So notice, when the denominator was 10, which has 1 0, we had 1 digit after the decimal point. When the denominator was 100, which has 2 zeros, we had 2 digits after the decimal point. And when the denominator was 1000, which has 3 zeros, we had 3 digits after the decimal point. Now these are slightly different. We have 4 and 30/100. The denominator of 100 tells us that we need 2 digits after the decimal point, so that's 4.30, with the 3 being pushed over into the tenths column because the denominator of 100 tells us that we can't go beyond the hundredths place value. But 4.30 is the same as 4.3. We don't need zeros on the end of decimals, and that's because if we simplify 30/100, that's equivalent to 3/10, so we can just write 3 in our tenths column and we don't need 0 in our hundredths. Now 4 and 30/1000. So the denominator of 1000 tells us that we can't go past the thousandths place value column. We can only have 3 digits after the decimal point. So that's 4.030, with the 3 being pushed across to the hundredths column. But 4.030 is the same as 4.03. Again, we don't need zeros on the end of decimals, and that's because 30/1000 is the same or equivalent to 3/100, so we can just write a 3 in our hundredths place and we don't need to write the 0 that's in our thousandths. Finally, we have 4 and 300/1000. The denominator of 1000 tells us that we can't go beyond the thousandths digit, so can only have 3 digits after the decimal point. So that's 4.300. Because we can't go past the thousandths column, the 3 gets pushed all the way over into the tenths. But again, 4.300 can just be written as 4.3. We don't need zeros on the end of decimals, and that's because 4 and 300/1000 is equivalent to 4 and 3/10, so we can just write 4, then the decimal point, then 3 in our tenths. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful. If you're a teacher or a parent, then please subscribe or go to keystage2maths.com to download resources for this lesson and many more. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video.